What is going on today, guys? Evan Aldo here. We are getting into, that kind of holiday weekend in the final days of March now. Some news has happened, in the crypto markets. Obviously, we saw SBF get 25 years, and I believe the judge said a medium to low security prison. I think that probably means a low security prison, which that's a big difference in a much better quality of life for, I think, with good behavior. The earliest he theoretically could get out is probably around 21 years. So, I mean, I think, he obviously went kind of crazy after, things kind of went down. He didn't shut up. He was talking. He was doing pretty much everything you could possibly do to get a longer sentence. And, you would think, based on everything, how that trial went, and a lot of, experts saying that, it was the worst offense they've ever seen. Even the judge that gave him this 25-year sentence even said, he was probably, if he wasn't lying under testimony, he said some comment that was so, really derogatory towards SBF, and you would think he would have gave him kind of the 40 or 50 years that, prosecutors wanted him to get. So, looking at it like that, you would think if SBF, kind of handled this like a normal person and shut up and, just lawyered up, he probably shouldn't have even gave a testimony or whatever. I know he didn't have a plea deal, which is a little bizarre from what I heard. So I feel like if he pled, I don't know, but I feel like if he pled not guilty and did everything kind of correctly and shut up and, didn't have the worst offense imaginable, he probably would have gotten under 10 years. And, going to a low security prison for 21, it would be around 21 years with good behavior. I think he could possibly even get out earlier, given my guess, let's see, it's 2024 right now. My guess is he's out by the end of the 2030s, because you look at what happened with the pandemic, there were a lot of people that got out earlier. There's always stuff that seems to happen. So I'd be surprised if he serves that full kind of 21 years. And I don't think the quality of life is going to be absolutely terrible in there. So he kind of, I think he got pretty lucky here. I mean, the thing too is I think a lot of the, people talk about how he was, Biden's second biggest donor, all of these type of things. I think he really irritated, really irritated a lot of these, big kind of people, too, as well. It's just why he kind of got the, the full, the 25 years or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, when you look at kind of crypto and, how this whole thing is kind of, we're getting close to the halving right now. When I look at the charts, I see most likely, I mean, I could be wrong. It's kind of hard to say right now, but I see most likely a pre-halving jump up to around 78K. That's the next big target, high 70s. And then after that, I think we'll most likely see kind of a sell in May, walk away type thing. For a correction, probably down to the inception of the Bitcoin ETF, which is going to be at like high 40s, low 50s, which I think is a very, very likely, possibility at some point here. And I think that could be where some alts bottom out against Bitcoin. I mean, that's been tough because, if you look at where alts bottomed out against Bitcoin last time, it was when the Fed started pivoting. When's the Fed going to pivot? Most likely it's going to be June. So maybe that could happen, but I think a lot of alts, including Ethereum, have a good shot of having already bottomed out against Bitcoin. And even if they do go down farther, it's not going to be, that crazy bad, right now. I'm happy with converting where I converted, a lot of Bitcoin over into ETH, over into alts, in the previous months since October. Even if a lot of these alts do bleed, even if some of them do bleed another, let's say, probably worst case scenario for a lot of them, another 50-40% against Bitcoin, that's not that bad in the grand scheme of things, because I think a lot of these are going to get that 3 or 4x from where they are now, at least. What could Bitcoin get from where it is right now? I mean, a 2x, maybe a 3x to 200K, but I mean, the 2x is most every cycle has more diminished returns. And look, I'm not telling you can't make money with these brand new altcoins that, there's so many shills and stuff that come out every week, that's always how it's been. But with stuff in the top 25, stuff in the top 50, the top 100, there's going to be diminished returns, every cycle. So I do think that 4 to 5x overall in a portfolio from right now is a pretty good goal. Like if you have, 25K getting to 100K is pretty good. And I know for crypto, this doesn't sound, like the answer a lot of people want to hear. Maybe we could go a lot more for some of these. I made a video a month or two ago about like 5 cryptos that I think could 10x from where they are right now. They're all higher. You know what I mean? Crypto.com was one of them. HBAR, I think even Matic. I'd have to go back and look. There's a lot that I own. It's a diversified portfolio, but that's what we look at here. And on the bright side, I mean, I could be completely wrong. Anything could happen, but I don't think we're going to go much below 50K, at least for not that long of a period. I mean, we could get that 50% correction down to 35K, 40K, but I think we'll kind of recover from there. And I mean, you leave a comment down below. I haven't looked at this, but was there any April, or was there any month, let's say, was there any 3 to 4 weeks before a Bitcoin halving where we crashed pretty hard? I don't know. I don't know what month was the halving in. Was it in April of 2020? But was it 3 or 4 weeks before that we crashed? I'm not really seeing a crash. I think most likely we do, there's a lot of things on the charts that do support that jump up to the high 70s. Where could ETH go? I'm hoping it bounces hard against Bitcoin right now. This is a big moment of truth for ETH versus Bitcoin. I think we're gonna, based on the 2 week, that could drop harder against Bitcoin. That could drop another, I don't want to say off the top of my head, I think at least 20% or more against Bitcoin. But there is a strong argument to make with the 4-year cycle that we could bounce hard against Bitcoin, and potentially get up to those new all-time highs or close to our all-time highs, as we saw with Bitcoin, making new all-time highs. Now, I don't think an ETH ETF is going to be as glamorizing and as powerful as the Bitcoin ETF was. For example, people want to earn yield on their Ethereum. Bitcoin doesn't have that allure, so there's the difference there, obviously. So I don't think that's going to help us as much, but I still think, assuming Bitcoin gets up to, let's say Bitcoin peaks out at 140K or something like that, Ethereum getting to 7K, which I think that's kind of the number where I'm going to start to get out on. I think Ethereum getting up to 7. Oh, wow, I sound dumb because that's probably only a double. Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. That's a double from, kind of from where we are right now. But say it gets up to 8K or even higher, potentially people have talked about 10K. There's more of that situation. Also, say Bitcoin just gets up to 120K and Ethereum gets all the way to 7K. That's where you outperform it significantly. So I think there is that good kind of opportunity there. Now, what am I doing right now? I'm DCAing in until the halving for these altcoins, just based on my strategy. I'm almost done DCAing. Like if I stop buying right now, I don't think it's that big a deal really. It's just, a couple more weeks that I'm going to buy some altcoins, and then I'm going to wait and see what happens into June. So if we do have that post-halving drop down and sell may walk away, I think June is going to be a good accumulation month, because I think the second half of the year is going to be generally very bullish into the election from July onwards. So the accumulation would be a nice DCA in June. See that sell and may walk away when you start buying every week in June. So that would make a lot of sense for accumulating, some last alts, maybe just that 1 month, and then wait, potentially a year, and then start to scale out at the end of the second half of kind of 2025 following the 4-year cycle. And you'd be in long-term capital gains. That may not affect some of you, unless, I don't know how it works in every country, but I know in America you do save a significant amount of taxes if you do hold for the asset for at least a year. So that is, that's important. That's an important thing to realize here. That's a very important thing to realize here, because obviously taxes can get you and all that. So that's the main thing right now. Kind of a boring week with the holiday. I don't think we're going to break up. Most likely we're not going to do anything too significant other than maybe, scare away some shorts, scare away some longs for the next few days, probably until the market opens on Monday. I think Friday the market was closed, I believe. So yeah, that's what we have right now. I mean, enjoy the holiday and enjoy the weekend. I know I will, out here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Very great, very beautiful city. That's all there's to really talk about right now, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this update. Subscribe to the channel, check out the link below, and check out the Discord. Have a good one, guys. Goodbye.